welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk very openly and honestly about lip injections. In this video I'm going to share with you my personal experience with them, and I'm going to cover everything from the cost to the pain level to if I'm happy with the result, how often I've gotten it done. But I also want to talk about this epidemic, I'm not sure what else to call it, of beauty bloggers, YouTubers, influencers, seemingly all having lip injections. And why I think that's so, and the motivation even behind me getting them, and just some random thoughts on the subject. So if you're interested in hearing all about lip injections, then please keep on watching. So you may want to grab a coffee or a glass of wine before watching this video because it is going to be chatty. I will put down in the description box at what point my experience starts if you're not that interested in hearing everything else I have to say on the subject. So like many of you, I am subscribed to the big beauty gurus, to Desi Perkins, to Lustrelux, to Crispy, Shayla. I don't think any of them have lip injections. Maybe Crispy, I'm not sure. I don't know if she's ever addressed having them or not. But there are plenty of others like Amanda Ensing, like Nikki Tutorials, Amy's Makeup Box is one that I really love. And they've all admitted to having lip injections, and there's no shame in it. I think that whatever you want to do, it's your body. If you have the money and you want to do it, then do it. So this really isn't about passing judgment. I'm not here to pass judgment. I just wanted to address why I think that so many of these young girls are getting this type of procedure done. And to me, it is not plastic surgery. I've stated this in another video when people have said things about me personally and having a lot of plastic surgery, and I don't consider injectables, and I don't think a plastic surgeon would either. That is not plastic surgery. Plastic surgery to me is when you're put under anesthesia and you have something really altered, like your nose done or a neck lift or, a boob job, which, yes, by the way, I have had. So I have had some plastic surgery. But injectables like Botox, Restylane, Juvederm, those are not plastic surgery to me. So I want to differentiate those things. Now back to the lips and the fact that so many young girls, because I'm not old, but I'm not young. I'm over 40. So for anybody who's watching who is 18, 19, 20, I'm pretty old. To my 15-year-old son, I am old. Although he says you're not technically old until you're 50, but anybody who's watching who is over 50, don't take what a 15-year-old says to heart, please. So what I do find interesting, and I have talked to other people on YouTube, other beauty influencers about this subject, and even to some of my own subscribers, we've had some back and forth on this, where it seems almost like younger people are more accepting of younger people having procedures, whereas older women are not as accepting of older women having procedures. Like I've had comments on my own videos where my peers, women of my age, would say that, I'm not a good representation of a mature woman because I've had stuff done, or just their opinion overall I've seen on just different message boards where they just think, natural is best and don't be so fake and, all that. And that's fine. That's your personal opinion. And a lot of women hold that opinion. But, in those discussions I've had with other women about the difference between how younger women feel and how older women feel on the subject, I think a lot of the reason is because younger women have kind of grown up with this being okay. And what I mean by that is when I was younger, it was kind of taboo to say that you had work done. And now, because of the rise of people like Kylie Jenner, who have had so much work done, it's seen as normal. And even though she doesn't admit to a lot of the stuff she does, she obviously thinks that the public is stupid. I mean, she finally came out and admitted about her lips. But I'm sorry, while your face does change and your body does change from 16 to 18 to 20, of course, you don't get a completely different body shape. All of a sudden, Kylie has the skinny waist and the huge butt and the huge boobs. So I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about her, but I do feel like her popularity has kind of made it not taboo, has made it okay for the young girls. So if they hear someone else got their lips injected or got Botox at 22, they high-five each other. And another reason why I think that lip injections are so popular is social media, of course. Selfies. Everyone is taking selfies. And what that does is it makes us all, myself included, hypercritical of everything. I mean, we all have insecurities, but when you are constantly watching either on YouTube or on Instagram images of perfect faces, perfect makeup, perfectly smooth skin, it does something to your brain. Well, for most of us, it does. It makes you start believing that this is reality and that you really should look like that too. And that's one of the reasons I love Snapchat, and I do Snapchat. Sure, there's filters and I definitely use them, but there are definitely times where you're gonna see me as I am. I've mentioned, if you do watch my snaps, tons of times about how I have a lot of sun damage and wrinkling on my neck and my chest. And it's just because I spent a lot of time in the sun when I was younger. We didn't really know to put sunscreen everywhere all the time. I went to school in Arizona and I would put, maybe SPF 8 oil on. But on my Instagram photos, I use Facetune to smooth everything out. I don't know of any Instagram influencer that doesn't use Facetune, at least a little. So not only does it make a viewer who might be watching a video or scrolling down a feed feel a little bit insecure or inferior, it also makes the person posting the video and posting the photo very insecure as well. Yeah, usually we're not gonna put up a photo that we think we look hideous in, but a lot of times we'll stare at a photo and we'll like it at first, and then we'll go back to it and we'll think, oh, I look terrible there. Or look at this sticking out, or look at this hair sticking out, or my nose looks crooked, or my eyeshadow isn't blended, or my lash is hanging too low. We just get so critical of ourselves. And that was me when I first started making videos. I would play back this footage and I would just see everything that was wrong with myself. Like, I need to contour more, I need to fill my brows better, my lips look so tiny, all of this stuff. So yeah, it made me want to fix these things. And I've said in past videos that I have done Botox. I do not currently have Botox. I have not done Botox for a year. My forehead moves, everything moves. I have no filler anywhere in my face other than in my lips. Would I like to get more stuff done? Yes, I would love to get filler right in here, because what happens as you get older is your face loses its elasticity and your mid-face starts to fall a little bit. So what the idea is that if you fill up this area, it'll lift it and then making these lines less noticeable. But when I had that done, I didn't like the way it looked. And I feel like I can always tell when someone has cheek filler, because when I would smile, the apples of my cheeks would be like up in my eyeballs, and it just looked kind of weird. Like, you see some of these Real Housewives that they have too much filler in their cheeks, so when they smile, it's like their eyes disappear because their cheeks are covering them pretty much. But back to the lips. I don't personally judge these girls for getting them done, because they are in this medium where looks really matter. And what's interesting is that while I did say that most other young girls are okay with these young girls having these procedures, I have noticed comments on their videos, as well as my own, of people giving their opinions. Your lips look so ugly, you looked so much better without them, why did you do that to yourself? That's just what I've noticed, that everybody gets hate on their lips. And that I don't even understand. To me, it's kind of like when my husband yells at the TV during a football game. They don't hear you and they don't care. It's not that we're not reading these comments, because usually we are reading them, and usually the negative comments are the ones that stick to us more so than even the positive ones, unfortunately. I know that's not right, but it just happens. Is by you telling me or whoever that, they look better before, or your lips look awful, or whatever these comments are, it's not gonna change how we feel. Of course, some people get lip injections and regret it and maybe go have it dissolved. I can guarantee you it's probably not because of something someone else said. They just maybe didn't like the way it looks. I didn't like the way mine looked when it was first done, but I wanted to kind of give it a chance. But saying something negative and nasty about a person's appearance really makes nobody feel better except for the person saying it. And I don't know why that would be. I don't know why anybody would feel better about criticizing someone. Us YouTubers are in a medium of our own choosing, so we have to deal with both negative and positive feedback. Of course, it's just par for the course. But the fact is that if you're saying something nasty or negative, with the thought that we are all of a sudden gonna say, oh, so-and-so thinks my lips look ugly, I am never doing that again. That's not what's happening. So I hope that you understand that, and I hope that whatever it is going on in your life that makes you actually feel better to put someone else down, then I don't know what to say to that. That's sad, and I wish you a better life going forward where you're not so compelled to leave nasty comments. So I have to add this in here before I start my experience. The main reason why I've never done a video on this in the past is because, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you here, my mother watches my videos and she does not know that I ever had lip injections. She questioned it when I first got them done, and I told her no, that it's just this plumper that I'm using, and then in my photos on Instagram that I just use this app that makes them bigger, and she bought it. So I feel bad lying to her, but she is so judgy. Her and my father are so judgy about these sort of things. My father especially, he thinks that all of those Real Housewives, yes, he watches those shows with my mom. I think she makes them, but I think he secretly likes them. Anyway, he thinks that all of those ladies totally ruin their looks by doing too much filler and lips, and he just thinks they look ridiculous. So they still pretty much believe that I've never done it. So if you're watching, Mom, you were right. I lied to you. I have lip filler. So I know you're probably thinking, how could she not know? We all noticed. But to be, again, completely honest, my lips look so much bigger on camera than they do in person. Everybody I know who watches my videos says that. They say that my lips just come off so much bigger on camera than they do in person. And I guess a lot of times it's because you're really just focusing on my mouth and what I'm saying, well, hopefully. So I don't know if that's the reason, but it is what it is. So that's out of the way, we can get into my experience. I've been doing YouTube for a couple years now. If you go back to any of my videos prior to October of 2015, you will see me without lip injections. Those are my natural lips, and I can link a video down below, or I can put a link to one in this frame so you can click on it and see what my lips look like before. They were never super tiny, but they were when I would smile. When I would smile, I have one of those more gummy smiles, and my upper lip especially, would pretty much disappear when I would smile. And I just hated it. And then I also felt like when I would use plumpers that I really liked the way it looked when my lips were a little bit fuller. I decided to just take the plunge. So I researched someone really good in my area. You definitely want to research a good injector. I do not personally feel like you have to go to a plastic surgeon's office to get this done. There are plenty of nurse practitioners that are amazing. So you want to go to someone. You can look on Real Self, you can look on Yelp, now you can look on Instagram for before and after photos. You can ask for references, whatever you feel you need to do until you're comfortable that the injector is going to give you what you want. Don't go solely based on the price, because I find that with injectables, you get what you pay for. Now, the going rate for Juvederm, Restylane, whatever your injector chooses to use, vary from state to state, country to country. You might pay $600 for a syringe of Juvederm XC somewhere in California, whereas I only paid $400, I think it was $400, maybe even $350, $400 for one syringe of Juvederm XC. I saw another YouTuber talk about her lip injection experience, and she did say she paid like $650 or $700, and I was just shocked because I probably wouldn't even have done it if it was that much. But I think being around $350 or $400, I thought, all right, I'm gonna do it. So this was October of 2015. So over a year ago. So when people comment on my videos and say, stop doing lip injections, I haven't had it done for over a year. I don't know what she injected in my lips. I mean, I'm told it was Juvederm XC, and they've definitely gone down, but it's taken a while. I'm guessing one day I'll wake up and it'll just totally be gone, but it has taken a long time for my lips to go down. They say that your metabolism has a lot to do with how filler lasts on you. But what's interesting is that I've had this filler for so long, yet Botox only lasts like 6 weeks on me. It takes 2 weeks to kick in, and then it's gone by 6 weeks. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't continually get it. It's just way too expensive for me to get every 2 months for a minimal result. So most people do not get this long out of one syringe of Juvederm. So I will say that I feel like I am an anomaly. So do not go by my experience as the norm, because I truly believe it's not. I have heard other YouTubers say that they go every 3 to 6 months. Now, I did start off with a full syringe. When I went into my RN, she's a registered nurse who does injections. So when I went in, I told her that I really only wanted a half a syringe. And she said that I wouldn't notice much of a difference with the half a syringe. She said anybody in the past that she's given a half a syringe to has come back 2 weeks later and said they want more. She's like, you'll notice a slight difference, but it won't be the look that you want. So she somehow convinced me to go with the full syringe. And once again, I think it was $350 or $400. Now, to my surprise, she did not use any numbing cream. What she would do is she took a big bag of ice and she would place it over my mouth, hold it there for like 15 to 20 seconds until she would ask me, like, does it feel a little bit numb? And I said, yeah. And then she would start injecting. And then she would move the ice over, wait several seconds, do it again. There was minor discomfort. I'm not gonna say it didn't hurt at all, but I was going in expecting real pain, especially since she didn't use any numbing cream. I was thinking, oh my God, this is gonna be horrible. But it really isn't at all. The whole procedure lasted maybe 10 minutes or so, and then she would have me look in a mirror, and it's hard to tell because they swell up right away. Not too badly. Next day is when the real swelling comes in, but she had me look in the mirror to make sure I liked the shape, and I said, okay, and that was it. She just told me to, actually I did read online that you should take arnica pills before and after to help with bruising, and that was it. She just kind of sent me on my way. The next morning, I did wake up with some bruising around my mouth. It wasn't horrible, nothing that I couldn't just cover with a good concealer. And then I would say the third day after is when they looked the biggest. It wasn't like I've seen some other people where they do look like a duck, where they actually don't even want to go out in public. Mine wasn't like that. I would say it was okay. And then probably about a week later, it's when they calmed down. And I did feel like this upper lip was a little bit too much. I felt like the bottom should have had more. I always feel like the proportion should be where the top is a little bit smaller than the bottom, but I don't know. I felt like this top stuck out a little bit too far. So I messaged her, and she actually never got back to me, which was very disappointing and made me feel like she just didn't really care about me as a patient. So if I do decide to do this again, which I have to say right now I probably will, I think I'll go to someone else. So when my injector didn't respond to my text messages or phone calls, I just kind of let it go, because I did read that you should wait 3 to 4 weeks even to have the final result on your lips. And I just thought it wasn't too bad, and it just kind of, it did even out a little bit. So I was happy. I have been happy with them. I did feel like they were a little big, as I stated in the beginning, probably for like the first 4 or 5 months. I felt like, maybe this was a mistake, but I didn't hate it bad enough to want to go have it dissolved. I mean, I paid $350, $400 for it, so I didn't want to get it dissolved, but I'll admit that I felt like they might have been a little bit too big, and then maybe I would have been happy with a half a syringe. But what I did like is that it did correct the issue I didn't like about myself, which is when I would smile, my upper lip does not disappear anymore. So, when I would get those comments that I referred to earlier about my lips being distracting, or that they look ugly, or it makes me look older, that's your opinion. The only opinion that matters is mine. And of course my husband, because I don't want him to think I look unattractive, or older, or distracting, or whatever words other people use. He's happy with it. I like the way it looks. So that's really all that matters. So yeah, I covered the cost. I had Juvederm XC, like I said, 1 syringe. The pain was minimal. The recovery for me wasn't that bad. I do highly suggest you take arnica pills before and after. Keep your lips moisturized, and go to someone really reputable, really good. Check and make sure that they address issues promptly, and that they care about their patients. And most of all, do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't expect your life to change because you have lip injections, and also don't overdo it. Going back to some of these beauty influences gurus, again, I hate to judge because, hello, I have lip injections and some people think mine are too big, but I definitely think some of these girls have gone way overboard with their lip filler and cheek filler. I mean, I wish I could tell them that, you know, you're only 23, 24 years old. Don't do this to your face now. Just, they end up looking almost cartoonish, to me at least. But I don't think some of their followers or admirers see that. I think they just say, oh my God, you look so amazing. Again, I just think they're being more conditioned now to appreciate more like fake beauty, I guess. I could talk for another hour about this, but I won't. Again, these are just my opinions. If I could talk face to face with these girls, I would say gently, I wouldn't say you look terrible, you look ugly, you know, your lips are atrocious. I wouldn't say that, but I would plead to them to maybe ease off a little bit, and just less is more when it comes to filler and Botox and surgery in general. I wish more people would realize that, but hey, to each their own. People live and learn, and it's not my job to tell somebody what to do with their body or how to live their life. So there you have it. I feel like this is gonna be one long ass video and I'm gonna have a hell of a time editing it down, but hopefully it ends up being good and helpful, that you've gotten to know all my thoughts on the subject, and that I have answered all of your questions regarding my personal experience. If you do have any other questions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I will gladly answer any and all questions in regards to my lip injections. If you wanna leave a comment saying that you still think my lips look like crap, then go for it, that's fine too, if you feel you have to do that. That's all. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do. I upload twice a week, new content, hopefully helpful content. You can also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. All of that is Risa Does Makeup, and I'll see you guys very soon.